Hi everyone, it's Amanda. Today I'm going to be doing a spooky romance reading vlog, particularly with some darker romance books. So with that comes some trigger warnings. There is a lot of assault and gore in the books that I'm reading. So with that being said, here are a list of the books that I'll be reading in this video. Hopefully you're excited about one or two or all of them, and I'll leave timestamps down below so that you can check that out. I tried to make this vlog super fun with some b-roll, some spooky music, and all the good stuff. So hopefully you like that. Be sure to like this video for more content like this and subscribe down below to support my channel. And let's just get into the video. Hi friends, I'm officially 50% of the way through done with Heathens, and I'm loving it so far. Honestly, it is such a good October read. I am obsessed. I think it might be a new favorite of 2021, but I'm not sure yet because I am waiting for this mystery to play out. So we're basically following Fallen and her journey while she goes back to the town she was born in that she's never been in before. She's grown up in Texas, just living a normal life, when she gets a letter from her grandpa who lives in this town called Weeping Hollow that nobody can go to unless you're summoned there or you're a witch, and she is called there, so she does end up going, and you're not allowed to leave unless the town's done with you, and obviously the town's not going to be done with her. Basically, that's where it all starts out, and then she goes to live with her grandpa, and she meets the Hollow Heathen that she's gonna fall in love with. The Hollow Heathens are 4 guys that are descendants from the first witches, I think. They use magic based on like the elements, and they're the only ones who really have that. And then Julian has like the shadow element where he can kind of summon darker magic, but he is always wearing a mask because if anyone sees his face, they see their worst fear and then they die. And so he has to wear a mask all the time, and same with all the other Hollow Heathens. Fallen is warned to not go near them, but of course she does not listen. And they are kind of drawn to each other in a way that makes me believe they are destined to be together. They're fated mates, and I am here for that. I'm ready to see what's going on. There's also a lot of politics because we have like a lot of covens, and some of the covens have died off. And why did they die off? Someone must have killed them, right? So we're trying to find out what the power dynamic is here. And I think that's going to be a huge part of the story, which I'm loving. So we are getting a little bit of the romance so far, but not a lot. It's definitely a slower burn. They just had their first kiss in the House of Mirrors, which was such a good setting. I love scenes with those creepy things, creepy carnival things. Absolutely love it. They had this festival called Defy Superstition. If you wear a mask, you have to try to get people to play out superstitions. So like, say someone's not wearing a mask, you would want them to like open an umbrella indoors or something. Basically, it's just like this fun event that people do every year, and it's like a party type thing, but that was really fun. And then right now they're trying to find these books that supposedly have all the history of each coven because they want to find out why Fallen, well, Julian wants to find out why Fallen is wanted by a particular coven. They're claiming that Fallen is protected by this coven because her dad wanted her to be in that one, but I'm pretty sure that is a lie to try to get her to be in this one and basically trap her in this one coven. There's a lot of politics going on, and I need to know more, but I really want to know more about her mom because her mom was from a different coven than her dad, and I think that's why her mom ended up dying. Like, I don't think her mom died in childbirth like she thinks. I think something went on with the forbidden romance, and something is going on, you know? It's obviously a mystery, and I'm excited to see how it plays out, but I think that will definitely determine if this becomes a favorite or not. But let's get back to reading, and hopefully it's a 5-star. Alright, I can now say with full confidence that this is a 5-star read. It was so good. Such a good love story with such good plot. Holy shit. I will say that I thought this was going to be steamier, so just know that if you're going into it, or if you are someone who doesn't really like a lot of steam and you think this sounds interesting, like a witch fantasy romance book, definitely, I think it's great. It has like probably a 1 out of 3 steam level for me. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 scenes, but they weren't super graphic. It reminded me slightly of the Starless Sea. I know that's wild because that's not really in the same territory as this, but I'm telling you, there's something about it. I think it's that like fate type thing that's going on in this. And the way that it goes back and forth between the past and everything that went on with the covens back then, and then it switches to the different perspectives. I was absolutely blown away by this. I think the writing was so beautiful. It really was so beautiful. It had so much to say, life lessons and love and accepting yourself. And it made me tear up multiple times because there's like 2 to 3 scenes that are pretty emotional about family. It was very intense sometimes. There were so many good scenes. One scene in here was where she was kidnapped by this coven, and she gets like put in a grave and buried alive, and she's expected to like live. I was literally shook. I was like, oh my god, if that happened to me, I would already be dead because I'd have a heart attack and die. If you're at all interested in this, I think you should give it a shot. It is beautiful, but also very long. But I do think that the length was justified. If it was shorter, I wouldn't have gotten as much out of it. So I think the pacing was really good, and I don't have any complaints about how long it was. It was stunning. Perfection. Well-rounded. The mystery was all solved and everything came to light. I just loved the backstory behind our main character and her ancestors, and then also our love interest and his. It was great. Next up, I'm going to start reading another book. Oh my god, which one? Hold on. We gotta decide. So I have a lot in my Kindle right now that I want to read. We have Periculum by Natalie Bennett, Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton, Master of Salt and Bones by Carrie Lake, Gothicana, Games We Play, Haunting Adeline, Scream for Us. There's a lot of things going on, but I think I want to start one that's kind of shorter maybe, because I want to maybe get to her soul to take at the end of this video. All right, so I think I'm going to read Scream for Us, which is a little novella. I have a reading sprint in a second with Christine, and yeah, let's get to it. 50% through Scream for Us, and I am telling you, I have never read a smutty novella before. Like, I always read full-length novels, so I was not expecting the drastic pace. Like, the pacing is crazy. They're like doing the dirty on page 2, and I'm like, whoa, brother. Like, I did not even get like some foreplay action yet. I need to take a breather. But I'm trying to keep it together and think, okay, this is a novella, Amanda. You need to lower your expectations a bit on character development. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to leave this as a smutty Halloween moment, and hopefully it delivers on that. It is so far. There's been like 3 sex scenes already, and I'm only on page 40. So if that tells you anything, there we are. We're at this party in the very beginning, and this girl is getting like assaulted by this guy, and this guy in a ghost face costume beats the shit out of him, and then he says, you know, are you all right? And then she's like, oh, you know, frazzled up because someone protected her. So then she wants to go upstairs, and he's like, okay, girl, whatever. And then he also has 2 guys with him that are gonna be in on this because it's a reverse harem kind of situation, and it's gonna be a fun time. It's supposed to be like a Halloween spooky dark romance suspense reverse harem, and it's 70 pages, so I'm feeling like it's gonna be a fast, spooky, sexy time. I'm going to get back to reading, and I'll tell you how it is, if it's worth your time on KU. Well, I just finished Scream for Us, and I really don't know what to feel. I'm like, was that good, or was that just not. I'm not sure, honestly. I think I'm just gonna slap a 3-star on it and call it a day. I mean, it was hot. It was hot. It was basically just smut the entire time. Like, there's no story. Basically, the story is that these guys are going to avenge her from her bullies and get revenge on them. And then she, in return, is going to... Bow. I was, like, shook at the pacing. I'll have to read a couple more novellas to see if that's how they all are, or, like, if this pacing was just, like, super fast. But yeah, I mean, it was really fun. It was really entertaining, really fun. Sped through that shit. If you want a Halloween themed smut with some good threesome action, there you have it. But I think next I'm gonna pick up Satan's Affair, and that's another short one, and I'll see like if I like that one better and what I think in terms of this one too. So I will update you when I'm 50% into that one. Alrighty, folks. So I am 50% into Satan's Affair, and wow, I was not expecting it to be so gory so fast. So the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but so far I am liking it. Our main character's literally crazy. Like, she's just killing people in the very beginning of the book. And it's pretty gory, so beware of that if you're interested. But it's like a 170, 200-page book, so I should be able to finish it today. And it basically follows this girl that's in a haunted house, and she runs it every year. It just like tours, and it's known to be like the scariest haunted house. They don't touch you, but she does end up picking someone every time they perform to kill, because she is able to sniff out if they are demons, like if they are bad people. And she usually kills them if they're like a rapist or something horrible. So I'm on board, you know? Right now she's trying to kill this guy that she overheard one of her workers got raped, and so she's killing the boyfriend. And he's telling her that he didn't rape her because it was his girlfriend. And so I like that it's talking about that, how you still can be assaulted by your significant other. Like, that's not, you know, you don't just get their body. So I like that aspect, and we'll see how it goes. I will update you when I have thoughts. So far I'm liking it better than the last book, and it's kind of on the same level. I guess it's a little longer, but I'm definitely seeing more character development in this one. Alright, I also officially finished Satan's Affair last night, and I rated it 3.5 out of 5. Definitely 3 out of 3 on the steam level. It was definitely steamy, but not in the sense that it was romance. It was very much not romance, and I can't really go into why, but there is like a bunch of sex scenes, and it's very gory, so just beware. Like, when I say gory, I'm comparing it to like American Horror Story Hotel, or actually Freak Show might be even more of a comparison in terms of like gore and story. But basically we're just following this girl who is very passionate about killing people, and she resides in this haunted house, like I said, and she kind of just hides there and kills people. And then that's how it is. It's 170 pages, so I won't go too much into it. Basically, it's just a short kind of story. So if I tell you too much, then if you want to read it, it wouldn't be fun because I would tell you everything. But just know it did get very, very entertaining as the story went on, and the ending was definitely satisfying and also kind of mind-blowing. If I haven't read something very similar, I am not a huge fan of gore in my books. Like, I can take it. I loved Sicko by Amo Jones, which had a little bit of similar gore to this one, but it was a little bit less than this one. This one definitely goes all out on everything. There's a scene where she uses some tools, and it was wild. Yes, Remy, it was very wild. And then in terms of character development, you know, we didn't get a huge amount, but we did get some flashbacks to our main character's life in the past. She was raised in a cult, which definitely led her to be the person she is now. And she was abused by her dad, and her mom had a really tragic story as well. So you definitely get to see some of her past life, which develops her character a little bit as the story goes on. But yeah, so that's that one. Next, I'm going to be reading Games We Play, which is another shorter novella. And I've heard good things, so I'm hoping this one is like the 5-star novella, because I'm hoping I find a good one. Well, I liked this one. It's just, it wasn't a 5-star, you know? I want a 5-star novella. I haven't found one yet. Let me know if you have recommendations. Alright guys, so as you can see, I did go to the bookstore, so I figured I would do a little mini haul for you, little insert for everyone who is nosy like me and wants to know what I got. So I ended up getting A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout because it's the prequel to From Blood and Ash, and I had to do it even though I haven't even finished A Crown of Gilded Bones because I was so slumping in the middle of that book. I just need to get through it, but I'm hoping this one is good. I still love the series, so I'm hoping that I can push through that 3rd book. But yeah, I got this one. It's like an early release, I think, at Barnes & Noble. And then I got Payback's a Witch, which is a witchy rom-com. It's also the Whiners book club pick, so I wanted it physically, and I'm really glad they had one more copy. It's supposed to be a super fun little revenge story. Then I got Bad Habit by Charlie Rose, which is the same author that wrote Tell Me Pretty Lies, which I did read kind of recently. If I have the link, I will link it when I read it so you can see what I thought about that one. But this one is a brother's best friend age gap romance where the guy ends up leaving for like 3 years, comes back, and then, you know, things happen because they're older now. I love that trope. It's brother's best friend and it has the age gap. I'm so ready. Then I ended up getting the 2nd and 3rd book in the Addicted to You series, and I bought the first one on Amazon because I didn't have it in store, so it should be here tomorrow. But if you want me to do a video on reading these first 3 books, let me know. I believe the first 3 were like the original trilogy, and then you're supposed to read the spin-off series first 2 and then go back to the regular series. The reading order's in here and it's kind of crazy, so I figured I'd get the first 3, see if I like it, and we will go from there. But I love the way these look. Very pretty. And then lastly, I ended up getting 2 Christmassy romances, which are very exciting. I want to do another Christmas reading vlog this year, and I know it's spooky season. Why am I talking about Christmas? But I'm excited, and the author of Told Dates of Christmas has a new one, and yay. I know people don't like that book, but I loved it, so I'm hoping this one is just as good. I love the cover. How cute is that? Little orange. And then I also got the Holiday Swap, which is kind of reminding me of the Princess Swap, the Christmas movie on Netflix. Literally the best. It says it's like Gilmore Girls meets The Parent Trap meets Cake Wars. I mean, that sounds perfect to me. So we should be in for a good, cute ride. Also, Taylor Jenkins Reid blurbed it and said it's a pitch perfect romance with just the right amount of Christmas cheer and that she couldn't stop from smiling. So this one is going to be a hit. So that's all I got at the bookstore. Hopefully you like this little insert, but let's get back to the spooky reads. Now that is what I call a good smutty time, okay? You need to read this if you like a good sexy time, because this was a 90-page novella done correctly. I stand corrected. I love novellas now. So this one followed, I finished it by the way because I couldn't stop. So there we have it, but it was a novella, so I get a pass. This one followed a girl who was going to interview this guy that was like a gamer that made a bunch of money, and he wears a mask all the time, and he's known for his voice because he does like the thing where you can pay him to say things. Anyway, you know, like gamers on Twitch and stuff. And she was interviewing him because he's super mysterious and people like to know about him because he makes like a bunch of money. So she goes in and then he basically takes over the interview. and starts telling her how it is, and it goes from there. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's BDSM, there is some other kinks, and if you want that in your life, you need it right now, like right now. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's fantastic. So that's all I have to say about it. I'm sorry I can't give you more info, but I promise you, you don't want more. You don't want more. It was everything that you could want in a story. There was character development. There was a fun little guy gang that was introduced that we know are going to be in the series, because it's like a one-night series that takes place, and I think Wes's book is next. And I just wish we got longer with these characters. Like, I want a full-out whole novel for them, because I was obsessed and it was perfect. So there we have it. Next, I'm going to pick up Her Soul to Take, which is the last book in this little series. But so far, my favorite is obviously Hollow Heathens, but this one takes a close second. Alright, update. I just got home from work, that's why I look a little greasy. I am 50% into Her Soul to Take, and it's going well. There's a lot of demon dick happening currently, and I am here for that. Now, I will admit that in the first like 30-ish pages, I wasn't too sure about it. It was giving me Twilight, Dark Academia, Secret Society meets Cassandra Clare at first. And it still kind of is, but I'm here for it because there's heavy smut. But yeah, there is a mystery going on. There is a sort of demon hunting, demon summoning kind of thing going on, which reminds me of like the Mortal Instruments series, but with flavor. It starts out with a girl who's moving back to her hometown, which is supposedly kind of creepy, kind of has a lot of history behind it. And then she also has a YouTube channel where she talks about haunted houses and like haunted sightings or paranormal happenings, stuff like that. But she hasn't really gotten any footage except like orbs. But there's also a cult in this town, and they run the show. And by running the show, I mean they sacrifice people and call it murder, and then they don't get caught. They're sacrificing people to this underground god that lives in a mine that has like a story behind it. And that's kind of the beginning. Like, this all takes place in the beginning. There's someone that's killed and they're throwing him into this pit. And there's a demon, obviously, that's working for this cult because he is being ordered by them. And it kind of goes from there. So I'm gonna get back to reading, and hopefully it's a 4-star. Alright, y'all, so I just finished Her Soul to Take, and I think I'm gonna rate it a 3.5. I didn't love the insta-love. Like, it just went so fast for me. And I know they had a lot of interactions and everything, and I guess that would constitute maybe a situation like that. But I don't know, I just felt like he loved her too fast, especially for being like a demon. I just couldn't buy into the fact that he loved her just because he enjoyed her. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I wanted more about why he loved her. You know, I didn't get that. So I know the story was like demons want to possess and then own their person or whatever, but she was supposed to be kind of the exception to that. Like, he loved her anyway type thing, and he didn't need her to be possessed by him. I don't know. I was just a little bit like, meh. But the overall story, I did enjoy, like the mystery, the action, the paranormal, the creepy. It was good. The cult vibes. I don't know. It kind of left me a little disappointed just because I've seen this all over as like a good recommendation. I will just say Hollow Heathens is top tier for this video. So definitely, if you take anything from this video, Hollow Heathens, please. So good. So good. But the last thing that I'll say about that book is that I did like the demon character Leon. It was very believable that he was a different creature, like that he wasn't human. And I did really like the way that the author wrote his character. But the girl was just like your average girl. There was BDSM. I didn't mention that, but there was a decent bit of BDSM, stuff like that. So if you're into that, I recommend the novella that I just read. But also, I think you'd like this one in terms of the smut. Like, the smut was 5 stars. It was just like the story I think was like a 3 for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and if you want to join in on a little bit more of this kind of vibe, we are doing a Smutween situation on October 30th and 31st on my Instagram and also the roomies Jayla and Catherine. So if you're interested in reading some smut or maybe one of these books, we have a little bingo board, a story template for everyone. It's mainly just like an Instagram thing, but I'll probably vlog again. So if you have any recommendations on like things you think I'd like or that you want me to read for that, definitely leave them down below, and I'll have my Instagram link down below as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you managed to get through this, I'm gonna hurt my own feelings and say, let's put a spooky emoji in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!